Hi, my name's AD Packham. I'm the presenter of the Albion Raw radio show on Brighton's Radio Reverb 97.2 FM, online at radioreverb.com on TAB, and of course on our podcast. I'm here to give you my thoughts ahead of this weekend's Spurs game. And you have asked me, what have been my thoughts on this season so far? Well, last Saturday's game at Anfield felt a bit weird. It felt like it was the first game of the season after a long month without playing that saw us lose our manager and gain a new one. Before Graham Potter up sticks and went to Chelsea, the season was going really well. We're playing some brilliant football. We stopped becoming Brighton and an XG Albion. We're actually converting our chances and scoring goals. And the game, which turned out to be Graham's last game in charge, which was the game where we won 5-2 against Leicester, everything all came together, and we left the stadium that day absolutely buzzing and excited. We were in fourth, lifted up to fourth in the table, and it was, everything in the garden was rosy. And then obviously the whole Chelsea offer came in, and it was like a whirlwind, and it left us feeling absolutely devastated because we've come so far and we're getting all the plaudits for Graham's brilliant brand of football, the way he manages the players, the way his intelligence comes through, and the multiple formation changes, and the way that all the players have to be tactically flexible. It was just something that we really really enjoyed, and and he left us on a high. And when we were looking for a new manager, we were recruiting from a position of strength. Usually, when you lose your manager, it's because you're rubbish. You're not doing very well. You had a run of really bad results. But here we were. We had probably the best squad of players that we've ever had. And it was an attractive proposition for any manager who might want to come in. And it turns out that the incumbent was Roberto De Zerbi, who we didn't know an awful lot about beforehand, but the way that Tony Bloom does things and his scouting networks around the world, he would have been very much on the radar. I mean, there was a lot to talk about Graham going to this club, that club, even your club at certain points in the past. So there would have been a plan in place, and De Zerbi was the man who gets to carry us forward. And we're very excited about it. We got our first taste of De Zerbi ball at the weekend, and De Zerbi is he's not Conte. The Italian football brains don't like him very much because it's not Catenaccio. It's a very progressive style that will quite often see us probably winning 7-6 or something. It'll be like a basketball score in some of our games, possibly, because he does tend to leave the back door open, which is a bit of a worry. But we do have the best two English qualified centre halves at our club, and hopefully that will see us in good stead in regards to that one. In terms of standout players so far this season, Leandro Trossard's rightly getting a lot of plaudits, but I would point towards the Scottish-sounding Argentinian Alexis McAllister, who's been absolutely outstanding so far this season and probably got man of the match in most of the games. And he's been absolutely brilliant, as has Pascal Gross. But we're a team that's part of, we don't have individual parts. We are a team in every sense of the word. We are together, and whoever is picked knows their jobs. And we're really excited about what our prospects are for this season. Obviously, going into this game, we're sitting in fourth, you're sitting in third, but we have got a game in hand, and if we could go third when we win on Saturday, so we're looking forward to that. I don't think we've ever been third before, but yeah, I mean, in terms of what do we think of Spurs so far? Conte is a very pragmatic manager. I think that you won the transfer window with the amount of players that you actually got in, but it doesn't. We're not seeing an awful lot of that on the pitch. I think that most Spurs fans would probably want to see a more expansive style rather than sitting and sucking up the pressure and hitting on the counter. And you've got the players that could go on and be a lot more successful playing within themselves a little. disappointed that Yves Bissouma hasn't been involved quite as much as we would have thought. But I mean, I understand he had COVID pre-season and a couple of niggles. But I mean, the fact that Conte is saying that he's not getting his tactics is a little bit of a weird one as far as we're concerned, because as I was mentioning earlier, every player at the Albion under Graham Potter had to be tactically flexible. Their positions could have changed 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times within one game. So for him not to be able to get what Conte wants is baffling to us. But I think once he gets in his gets a foothold and he gets himself in the team, I think he stays there and he goes on to be a very, very good player for you, which is gutting. We'll have him back if you like. We quite like him. But then we've got Moises Caicedo, who was not necessarily his replacement, but his heir apparent. And he's been absolutely magnificent this year. He's one of 3 Ecuadorians we've got at a club that are going to be going to the World Cup, and we're very excited to see what they can bring to the party. But there's lots of noise about Moises at the moment, and people will certainly courting him. And but the bidding starts at 100 million. So if you want to have a look around the back of the sofa, see if you've got that kicking around, give us an offer. Otherwise, go away. But heading into this game at the weekend, what do we think? Well, I think that you will sit back and try and hit us on the counter, which is what Conte's style has been. 2 Italian managers, the old breed and the new breed. We're hoping that the new breed very much comes out on top, and it will be Brighton that will be sitting in 3rd place come the end of the game. Cheers. See you soon. Bye.